Space Dandy, episode 12. Nobody knows the chameleon alien, baby. This episode was definitely one of my favorites. I thought it was really funny them just chasing the alien around through the ship and how it was one of the episodes like in the very beginning it showed how stupid they are as characters when they're on the ship and the I forgot what it was called, like the Black Tanuki or whatever. It disappeared and it turned into like this random old guy in like a polo and some like khakis or something. And so they do like the roll call to count off how many people are there, and he's in the room and he counts off as the third person. And they realize that there's one extra person, and then they're like walking around like, where is this person? And they don't just turn around and or like think, oh, I heard it in this direction in this exact room. And it was one of those funny scenes where it's like it shows how dumb they are, but it was a hilarious episode. I love the beginning too, where they're trying to of course get money for being alien hunters, and all they do is get a couple of dollars here and there. And the woman, it was cool to see her in here. I mean, she's always there because she's the person who kind of runs the scanning thing. But at least she got a lot more screen time than she normally does. She didn't do any actual fighting or anything, which I thought she was going to. um, when they kind of jumped her in the one part of the episode where they thought she was the chameleonian. I thought she was just gonna beat him up or something, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see her do any martial arts or stuff against them, which would have been hilarious. But it was cool to see her get some screen time, and I just love the episode when they were going through, like Trent, like they didn't realize like the couch and then the boombox. They like just weren't paying a lot of attention. I also love the fact that they played the song that Dandy was singing. I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and it was just him singing, but they were talking about like it being a live version and stuff. I thought that was really funny. Um, Also, when they were looking for the chameleonian and they were just fishing, and then QT like fell in love with fishing for some reason, and like his whole outfit changed. He had like the vest jacket on and stuff, and he had like a fishing cap, and he knew all the different terms. I thought it was gonna completely switch from them looking for this chameleon alien to an episode solely based on QT, but we didn't actually get that. But we will actually be getting it next week, where he falls in love with another robot. So excited for that one for sure. But I thought that's what this episode was gonna be. But it was great either way because it was definitely one of my favorite episodes. And then the ending of it I loved, where they have the competition and Dandy and the chameleonian get the answers right, and like all the answers were really funny too. Like everything was just woman. Like my favorite one was the sports event, and he was like women's 100 meters swimming breaststroke. I thought that was just funny because it's like the breaststroke is just a type of swimming, but I know that's his favorite just because the word breast is in it, and I just thought that was really funny. And then they decide like who cares which one is Dandy and which one is the chameleonian. Like we're both really cool, so let's just stick together. And then Gogol's actually going after them, and for once they actually do something, and they end up capturing the chameleonian, of course. But I love like how they were both walking exactly the same. Something about that looked so funny to me because they were both doing like the Dandy walk, where he like stretches his legs like all the way out when he walks and stuff, and he's almost like shifting side to side as he walks with his hands in his pocket like a cowboy or something. And it just looked really funny because they were so close together. It wasn't like they were far apart. It was like one's leg was basically covering the other, so they were walking, and if one messed up they would basically trip over each other, but they were walking in sync. And I just thought it looked really funny. But overall, I thought this episode was hilarious. All the stupid mix-ups where Dandy, like my favorite thing was they every time there was a second one, they just instantly assumed the second one was the chameleonian, and it just didn't make any sense. Like why would you always think the second one is automatically the alien? Like it just didn't make sense to me. But once again, that was one of the moments that showed like how stupid they are as characters, but it made it really funny because of course they were just always wrong, and the closest they came was when they had they just grabbed both QTs, which was really smart. And I thought they're actually gonna figure this out, and then something else funny will happen. But of course they screwed that up. Instead of just pushing one through and stuff like that, which they also could have done with the two Dandies. Like why don't we just go back? Even though they were banned, they could have obviously proved it at that point. But I thought it was a great episode, really funny. Excited for next week. I think it might actually be one of those more emotional based episodes that we've had, the ones that kind of sneak in here and there, and we might get another cool song to listen to. But ultimately, loved this episode. I thought it was probably, one of the funniest episodes we've seen so far, but, definitely loved it. Loved all the crazy running around. The ending was, like I said, definitely my favorite was when they were walking together, and also them kind of like trying to figure out who's Dandy and who's the Chameleonian, and then they both get so confused that it kind of sends them into a spiral of, the actual Dandy doesn't even know whether or not he's the Chameleonian. So I thought that was funny, and then of course that goes to the Gogo guy, where he and the Chameleonian instantly get into it too, and they both kind of go nuts. And then the narrator talks about how anyone can be one, even him, and stuff like that. But great episode. So comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and definitely tell me, what was your favorite silly moment in this episode. Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.